Welcome to our roundtable drive, Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization. We're on the Grand Mesa. We knew before we come up here that there was going to be snow and rain and all that, and you know, a lot of people would cancel their plans, but we come anyway. I mean, maybe a storm may make a sighting happen. Cross in front of the road, in front of the dash cam for you guys. I don't know, we're always looking all year round. Yeah, back home in Logan Canyon, a plow truck driver in the middle of the winter that was plowing that road had a 9-foot squatch cross the road in front of him. There's so many winter sightings that I really don't think they hibernate. I think they may hunker down a lot and save calories and use fat storages and stuff, but people still see them in the wintertime in these areas. So we thought we'd come up and poke around and see what's going on in this Bigfoot sighting hotspot. Yeah, we've gotten sighting reports around this mesa the last 2 years in a row, and both of them were winter time. So that tells me they're not leaving the area in the wintertime and they're not hibernating. Or they come out of hibernation and get spotted once in a while. Who knows? We're in Colorado, by the way. And this is our form of a podcast, Roundtable Drive. I'd like to show you guys the area. Oh my gosh, those dogs are gonna... The snow's as deep as the dogs. Yeah, Jenny and I come up here looking for Bigfoot 2 or 3 times a year. A lot of people say, why don't you guys do Bigfoot expeditions in Colorado? Oh, we do a lot of them in Colorado. Several of them here. Yeah, Brody lives in Colorado. So sometimes we meet him out here and do expeditions and yeah, a brown or a black Bigfoot, you would think would stick out like a sore thumb in this type of stuff. So you guys keep an eye for us. I can only see one direction at a time and the camera never blinks. Yeah, we did a week-long expedition here last summer. Brody, Jenny, and I. We did a bunch of hikes to some lakes up here. This mesa has 300 lakes on the top of it. And I've only probably seen 10 or 20% of those lakes so far. So yeah, we'll pick a lake and go hike to it, because you can't drive up to all the lakes up here. Most of them you have to hike to, so it's a water source, so we hike around looking for Bigfoot evidence and hoping we can spot the creature. Yeah, it gets 10 to 11,000 feet up here, so the air is really thin. You guys watch some of the videos that we hike around up here, you might hear me gasping for oxygen.
Geez, this is a really hefty storm.
I've seen the snow deeper up here, but it's, ain't gonna lie, it's pretty damn deep stuff. But we've been up here on some expeditions where there's 15-foot embankments on either side of the road, so I've seen double the snow up here before.
We've just never been in a snowstorm.
Right. We come up the one time when it was raining, turned to sleet, turned back to rain that one time, but this is the first time we've been up here where it's been full on snowing, and we're driving through 4 to 6 inches of it on the road.
I'm just glad they didn't have the road closed.
Well, it wasn't even supposed to snow today. The snowstorm was supposed to come in tomorrow, so I don't know, maybe it'll be 10 times worse tomorrow on the official day. Yeah, I thought we might be able to get a hike in today without any snow. Yeah, look at the conditions that we go looking for Bigfoot. We try to look for them in all different kinds of conditions. It's always something odd that causes a Bigfoot sighting. That plow truck driver that had it cross the way in Logan Canyon, that was a daytime sighting too. Daytime snowing.
This is our Valentine's expedition, by the way. We go Bigfooting for Valentine's Day every year.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we should dig us a snow cave to stay the night in.
No. Some of the best footprints we've ever got was some years back on Valentine's weekend. The ones that we found in the snow.
Yep, they're going to know what you're talking about because those are auto-posting tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I decided for the anniversary of finding those, I was going to put them out on the same day that we found them, which is tomorrow. February 14th, 2013 or 2014 we found those tracks in the snow.
Survivor Man Bigfoot had those tracks on it.
Mm-hmm. There have been a couple of TV shows that have wanted to use them. "17 inches long, almost 8 inches wide at the toes." I've had a lot of people think they look really good. I think they look great. You can see the toes real well, and every once in a great while you'll have someone say, "Those are claws at the front." What people think are the claws are actually the spaces between the toes.
Mm-hmm.
Yup, you think those are bear prints. You better get a better phone or look at those on a computer. Those are Sasquatch footprints. Yeah, it was shuffling, doing the sidestep shuffling thing that you see the Russian Bigfoot that gets videotaped doing, or the Yeti, whatever you want to call it. And Jenny and I documented footprints in the snow that were only a day or two old. We found them on a really warm day. We were lucky that we didn't find him any later because it was starting to get slushy and on the verge of melting. So we found them in just the nick of time before they melted away.
Oh my gosh, this is awful.
Yep.
I can barely see the road.
Yep, it's kind of scary to drive in. Yeah, everything's white. It's kind of gets difficult to see the edge of the road. Oh my gosh. Here's a gate that they close because of weather.
Yeah, I bet you they close it.
Wow, that's an orange truck. Orange. Our base camp is on the, we have to go up over the top and down the other side of the, south side of the Mesa.
Yeah, there wasn't any snow down on the level that we're staying. Just up here.
Yeah, there was just
Rain.
well, down in the valley before we come up here, there was just bits of snow and the shadows of trees and the edges of rivers, and there wasn't much snow at all. So I was kind of shocked. It's been a mild winter. Not up here. They have their own weather up here. Wasn't supposed to snow today, and here it is, snowing. Now, something that our group is well known for, if you guys follow us, almost all year round, you'll find us at the edge of the snow line, hiking. We find that edge and hike, and there's several reasons. One, we don't want to full-on hike in the snow if we don't have to.
Turn left on Barren Lake Drive.
I thought we turned that off. I don't know where it's taking us. Sometimes the GPS will just pick a place and try and take us there. There's been mornings when I go to work and it does that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call in sick one day and see where it takes me. Some of the reasons that we hike on the edge of the snow line is that's where the elk are. And a biologist in Colorado several years ago did a study, and he made the correlation that the time and the places there's Bigfoot sightings is the elevations that the elk herds are. So it seems the Bigfoot are interested in the elk or interested in what the elk are interested in, the food or water sources or whatever, or both. And so we're well known for doing our hikes right at the edge of the snow line, sometimes in the snow. And you guys will see that. But this particular expedition, we're going to find the edge of the snow line and do some hiking, which is a couple of 1,000 feet lower than this. And you guys will see as we descend onto the other side, we'll actually hit the snow line. I know you're looking at this right now and there's like, no, there isn't going to be a snow line, but yeah, there is. And it pays off for us. We've found a lot of Bigfoot tracks in our years of being on the edge of the snow line. It's 21 degrees out there. Now the front windows have iced up.
I know. It's pretty chilly.
Put the defrosters up there. Try and get that ice melted so you guys can see better. Sorry about that. It's an adventure. I'll concentrate on the road and you guys watch and see if you can spot Bigfoot.
I don't think anything's stupid enough to be out in this.
Yeah, I think if Bigfoot's up here, he's probably in a cave today.
I don't know, those people were on the side of the road in lawn chairs.
I know.
What in the heck?
To each their own.
Yep, that's right.
Probably drinking a quarantini.
A quarantini.
Alaska the Last Frontier, they made quarantinis. They made their own drink and that's what they named it. It was funny. Cool. We were leading the pack till I pulled off to fix the windshield wipers, and so we were trying to figure out where the road's at. It's nice to have some people up front finding the road for us.
Yep.
I know we had a guy that followed us from the very bottom all the way to the top in this white Tacoma, and he was perfectly happy with the speeds we were going. You could tell. Happy to have someone find the edges of the road for him. You just can't see the edges sometimes. Like everything whites out. Yeah, I'll put a link to that footprint video where we found the footprints, the side shuffling ones in the snow, if you guys haven't already saw it. Put a link down in the description. Yeah, Les Stroud put those footprints on his show. He liked them so much. Yeah, I'm getting over. Wow. I can't believe how deep it is. Where it hasn't been plowed, it's up to 8 inches deep on the road. It's as deep as the width of a good Bigfoot track. I'm telling you what, most of those adult Sasquatches at the toe splay are right around 8 inches wide. I've discovered, you know, anything from 15, 16 and bigger. Their toe splays are usually close to 8 inches wide. And the hill, where it starts to taper at the hill on a lot of these tracks, are 5 to 6 inches wide. Those are the adults. Juvenile Bigfoot's a total different game. I think those juveniles don't get that solid width until they hit a certain age. That's just from experience, seeing hundreds of footprints over the last 10 years. Yeah, in Sasquatch Canyon, we kept finding near a Bigfoot that has 14-inch long and 7.5 inch wide at the toes. We kept on finding baby tracks. This baby had 7-inch long tracks, and you know, sometimes you would see him, sometimes you wouldn't, and it started dawning on us that the 14-incher that it's always right close to, I think she picks that baby up and carries it quite often and then sets it down. Well, we were finding these tracks 2 years in a row, and the female's always with one that has almost 19 inches long tracks, and sometimes one with 17-inch tracks. Don't know if both of those are males or whatnot, but she's often with them, and then you see where she sets the baby down sometimes. And the first year we started finding those, they were 7 inches. The very next year, when we ran across them again, the babies had grown to 8 inches long. We had witnessed this baby growing over a year, and then they like left the area, and we haven't caught back up to them since. Brody and I followed the 19-inch and the 14-inch up a mountain one day when we found them. And every once in a while, you could tell the female sat the baby down, and the baby would, or toddler or whatever, would play. But we got the female, we recorded the female's handprints, where she put her left hand down on a couple of occasions, really steep sections. And I think the reason her hand touched down is to help her up those steep sections, and it was the left every time because she had the baby in the right hand. But there was a couple of points where you could tell she sat the baby down, and the baby played and ripped bark off of trees and made those mini structures. I mean, little 2-3 foot tall structures in little pine trees, like it was copying the adults. And witnessing that on a couple of occasions, where it's obvious the juveniles playing and doing that, it's copying the adults. So that really makes me think the adults make some of those really big log structures, because the baby's copying the adults. Yeah, Epic Bigfoot Expedition, we saw a part where the baby made like 4 or 5 of those teeny little structures. You remember that, Jenny?
I do remember that. Yeah, Derek was pointing out.
When we come up over that, we climb that waterfall.
Yeah.
And then
there was a place that it looked like an outdoor playpen.
Yeah. Then you can see where the baby rolls around and like somersaults and tears bark off of trees, makes those little structures.
Just like blocks. Somebody playing with toys.
That's also where Brody captured on the Parabolic Mite. It sounded like a child crying. And it's the same years that we were finding the baby tracks once in a while near the adult female. I mean, I'm pretty sure the one that has the 14 inches tracks, that's its baby. Okay, Patterson Gimlin. That female Bigfoot is like 7 foot, 7'4". Experts that have broke down the area, and that's the estimate they give of her. And I'm pretty sure she's done growing. She's an adult at the time, big adult female, and her tracks were 14 inches long. So I'm just gonna guess that the females probably only get 14, 15 inches long, on average adult female. And so when they start getting bigger than that, you're probably looking at male tracks. When you're finding 17, 18, 19 inch tracks, I'm gonna go out on a limb and saying you're probably looking at male tracks. I always wonder who the dad of that baby is, if it's the one with the 17 inch tracks or the one with the 19 inch tracks that we're finding. That's often with that female's 14 inch long tracks in Sasquatch Canyon. It's just cool to find this evidence, and it starts, formulating a story. There's a little family unit that uses that canyon some years, and it's obvious why they use it. There is just thousands and thousands of acres of oak brush that have the acorns, and then there's a smorgasbord of all different types of berries in there, from thimbleberries, raspberries, strawberries, all these wild type berries, rose hips, Oregon grapes. We find those in there, that area a lot. And then the deer, the elk, and the rabbit are plentiful.
And grouse.
Yes. We see turkeys in there once in a great while too. I actually, the first year that we put game cameras back in there, I caught turkeys on my game camera.
Yep. Something made a turkey back there a couple of years ago because we found a bunch of turkey feathers.
Where a turkey looked like it'd been dismantled and ate. Woo! Do not want to slide off this road.
No.
Okay, when we get down to the edge of the snow line, I'll end this round table drive. But look at the stuff that we go out Bigfooting in, you guys. We really put out the effort.
Yeah, we'll be here for a couple of days.
And if the creature wasn't so elusive, the interest wouldn't be there. Modern day mystery. Yeah, those of you that are skeptics or whatever, I could care less. But over the last 16 to 20 years, 14 new species of primate have been officially discovered by science. And 3 of those are in the great ape family, so large, primates as big as men or bigger. And one of my favorite discoveries, officially discovered about 20 years ago, is the billy ape. The largest males can get up to 6.5 feet tall and over 200 pounds, which is a subspecies of chimpanzee, but it's a new primate. And for years, science and mainstream people would laugh and joke at people that were saying that they were seeing these chimpanzees that would stand up and be as tall or taller than a man. You know, everybody joked around that they didn't exist, and they do. Okay. So why didn't anybody find any bones or capture one before they were officially discovered? Why? So if you're making that argument about Bigfoot, go back and look at the Billy ape. There's a new orangutan species that's been discovered in the last 10 years also, and a lot of smaller primates. There's a lot of stuff out there that still needs to be discovered by science. And just because science hasn't put the official stamp on something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because those 14 species of primates didn't officially exist until just recently. Yeah, I'm not out here to prove to skeptics that Bigfoot exists. We're out here to investigate sighting areas, investigative journalism, and to hope to get lucky and see one and possibly get it on camera ourselves. And if we happen across something that can get that official stamp on it, cool. But that's not our number one goal. We just enjoy chasing the modern day mystery. Oh, we're getting down into the summer cabins and stuff. Oh, it smells so good. I smell pine. There's a lot of sightings at lower elevations on this mesa, and Jenny and I have discovered on our expeditions out here that the elevations that we're at right now, there's just thousands of acres of trees that produce acorns, and then there's also apple orchards and vineyards. A lot of wine farms and apple farms. And I really think that's a major attraction to the Sasquatch, the apples especially. Yeah, when we come out on our first couple of expeditions out here like 8-9 years ago, when we started expeditioning here, that's the very first thing I noticed was all the orchards down low on the farms. Yeah, you get down to 4, 5, 7,000 feet on this, and that's where a lot of the orchards are. And then, like I was telling you guys earlier, the top of the mesa is 10 to 11,000 feet, where all the lakes are. Lakes full of fish. So look how high up the plow truck driver is. His head's about 9 feet off the ground, sitting up in that cab. And in Logan Canyon, when that Bigfoot crossed in front of that plow truck driver, after the Bigfoot had cleared the road, it turned back as it was leaving the road and looked at the guy in the cab, and he says they were eyeball to eyeball, face to face. So that puts that Logan Canyon Bigfoot at 9 feet tall. And it really doesn't put it into perspective until you go past one of those commercial-sized plow trucks and see a guy sitting in it, and it's like, damn, that creature was huge. I mean, its head's only a foot below the rim of a basketball rim. Okay, see how we're at the edge, you guys? We're starting to see the grasses, and I think this is probably more preferable, probably easier to find food than digging through 3-4 feet of snow up on the top. So this is where we're going to be hiking on this expedition, is down here in places around the snow line. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed a look at the Grand Mesa. We're going to keep bringing you guys Bigfoot videos of our search and quest for Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest and the Rocky Mountains of Utah. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.